Greetings, gamers. This is Jerod Leupold coming to you for another session of Mutant City Blues. We will do some recording to get everyone saying hi if we want to, if this even goes out there. But this is more for the playtesting to see how this game works and if we're doing all the mechanics right. But we are getting into the nitty-gritty of going into the part two of it, called the primary hunting ground of Mutant City Blues. As we left off our intrepid detectives uh, for the squad, Night Nurse and the other character have been called away to do research on another case. There's only so many of you within the heightened uh, crime unit, so there's only two left. Now, you're the only two that are available, so you both get a call around 5 a.m. to get into the office. And I should get the right notes up. Perfect. You've been called in early into the bullpen for your morning assignments. As you enter, you notice all the previous notes and cases from the past week have been erased from the squeaky board. Commanding Officer Sergeant Barnes has entered the room, locks the door behind her, and commands silence simply from the dour facial expression on her face. Her police hat struggles to keep the wisp of silver hair from floating around her face as electrical nimbuses reflect like thunderstorms behind her mirrored sunglasses. She eyes you both as the only ones into the bullpen. This morning, Citizen Bambi Calloway was found dead and mutilated in the back alley of the Burrows. Most of you will know her better by the stage name of Servid. Flatfoots discovered her about 30 minutes ago and are waiting for us to get in there before they drop the case. So get in the cars, get over there, and clean up everything as quickly as you can. No press. Close this as quickly and as quietly as you can. This city is already close to riots, with the Federalists here stirring everybody up. And with that, she gives you your marching orders to leave the room.
So Bambi Calloway, just a quick check-in. I don't, and maybe I missed her name. Is she on the list, the mutant registry at all?
She's
Not
on
on the
case
registry.
VIP.
Okay.
Not on the registry, but look at the VIP.
Yep. Perfect. Thank you.
Uh, Book, I don't think you were around. She had as we're driving, we'll talk. Uh, she had a peeping Tom that I investigated.
Oh, that's where. Okay, so that was her. That's where I know the name from. Okay, I would first. All right. Cool. All right.
Yeah.
I'm in. My brain's in position now. Got it.
Um, Nightman is who we pinned as the perp. And I believe that we got a collar on him. And is he still in jail?
Yep, still in jail.
Yep, still in jail. Okay. Well, let's go to the crime scene first, and we might want to go back and talk to Shithead.
There's a couple of flatfoots that are posted to keep out curious eyes away from the alley entranceway. As soon as you arrive, they pack it in and hustle out of there, happy to leave the case to the freak force. As you amble your way down a long dead-end alley, Bambi Calloway's body has been left overnight untouched by investigators and surrounded by several empty Jägermeister bottles. A brief rundown of her injuries are one puncture wound in her left eye, bruising around her throat, bleeding from her nose, and the symbol of a crucifix branded into her left hand, and her famous antlers have been removed. Her feet are covered in mud, even though the alleyway is full of non-mud garbage. Dried blood puts the time of death around 10 p.m. You can also tell that Bambi put up a fight as there is a sales tag from Jezebel's dungeon clutched in her rigor mortis right hand. That's a lot of information, and I'm going to
Yeah.
drop it in. to the notes section. I'll just put in the notes here too, if they have it. It's still early enough in the morning where people aren't quite up and around, even in the boroughs. So this is you're in Mutant Town, and if anyone could come up with a better name than Mutant Town, I thought about like the Ness, the Big Top, um, Freak Show, Sideshow, something like that. Like, just let me know.
Well, we have the crime scene investigator folks here. Is that burn a new injury, or is that something that's been there a while? Are they able
Yep.
to tell that at this point, or are we going to need to take that for an autopsy to get that?
Well, you guys are the experts here. You're the only people here, just you two.
Oh,
Now you can do evidence collection and call in and get her taken to the morgue if you want. Um, but even to your untrained eye, though, that is a new affliction.
Can I do evidence collection just around the crime scene to see if there's anything else that nobody picked up?
Yeah, absolutely. You hustle around and start picking up everything that you can. You don't find anything else out of the ordinary on here, besides everything that I've listed out. Just the scrap of the tag that was in the kind of in the clutch of her hand. Um,
And Jezebel was the one that we had pinned for information, and then she got whisked away by the feds, right?
no, that was Genesis Jackson.
Shit. Who's Jezebel?
You have heard her name before.
yeah.
Yes, with Killian McGrath from Paradise Bar. Paradise Found, right?
Yep.
And she does the endorphin control, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's not who we talked to at Paradise Found.
No, you've never spoken with her.
No. Who we talked to at Paradise Found, though? That was
Reese,
Reese.
Sin Eater.
I'd like to do evidence collection to make sure that like I put on the gloves and bag the receipt. And what am I looking at?
The receipt is for a place called Jezebel's Dungeon, which you can do a quick search for. That is a sex shop in the boroughs.
Does it have a time and date stamp on it?
No, because it's not actually a receipt on there. It is like a tag from um, a piece of clothing.
Oh, you did say that. Okay. Thank you.
That potentially could have been ripped off her assailant.
That's what you're guessing, yeah.
We know where Jezebel's dungeon is.
Yeah. Yeah, you're in the boroughs, so it's not too far away.
I'm gonna kneel down, and with my gloves still, I'm gonna close her eyes, and take a moment. I'm gonna say, "Book, she was a classy lady. She didn't deserve this."
Absolutely not. Let's figure out who did this.
Okay.
do you think? So you got the bottles, you got the mud, right? You got sort of everything's bagged up. We send it in, and maybe you want to should we start at Jezebel's dungeon, or maybe look for a liquor store to see if there's someone who bought a bunch of Jaeger last night for a little party?
I think that's a great idea. Um, can I?
Oh, and before I forget, we should go talk to Nightman. Maybe he saw something when he was peeping Tom and her that might be a hint as to someone who was visiting. Maybe she had a companion that he spied.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. On your character sheets, I just made up some new character sheets that I haven't ported over on everything. But I've gotten in a notes in an explanation of every single one of your skills that you have on your character now. Under a note, so you can just hover over it to tell you exactly what it is. Um, I will tell you there are. You're probably a little out of practice from playing Mutant City Blues. There are a bunch of clues here
Yeah.
that you can get if you want to use your skills.
Uh, can I use criminology to investigate the crucifix? See if there's a organized crime that might have something to do with it.
Great question. You try to think about criminology. There hasn't been any. I mean, the only thing you can think of that might be used for that would be maybe like cults might use it, but you don't have any crime families that would be tied with that.
Okay. Forensic psychology.
Yeah, that was going to be my next one.
Mm, okay.
Um,
Hmm.
past cases with like you know bruising throat, bleeding nose, that kind of thing. Looking at all the wounds she took, particularly the wound in her left thigh, like using that to base it off of something else that's happened before.
Okay. You're not going to. Well, here's what I can tell you is that so based on this is this is not where the incident happened. You can tell that it was she was killed someplace else and taken here, brought here, and dumped in this alley. And then it looks like that maybe it was fashioned or set up a little bit of staging here. So it's someone that is very calm with their time. They're not necessarily in a hurry. So it's probably they've done something like this before.
Last thing, can I use forensic anthropology to figure out the nature of the weapon used on her thigh?
Just by using forensic anthropology, this is a big one. Yes, the puncture to her thigh is uh, it's probably from an arrow. And you also determine that her cause of death is not from being choked from the bruising around her neck, but it is a death from brain trauma. But her skull is fully intact.
So somebody that could scramble her brain without breaking her skull. That's what I'm going to go with.
Do you have a skill that maybe you could use?
Yeah, I'm going to use uh, anamorphology on that.
Yes, you can. Yep. Entomorphology, also energy residue, however it's pronounced. That would indicate the power that was used was a psionic blast.
Book, what do we got in the database?
Just looking at that. Chavez Carson is a sonic blast. Oh, he's HICU though.
I don't like the sound of that at all. Jared, can you post the diagram with the powers again?
Yeah,
Then I'm going to
yeah,
save
absolutely.
it in a place where I can find it immediately from now on.
Well,
Every time.
if you go to Mutant City Blues, go to the pinned. Um, yeah, if you scroll down on the pinned, it's the Quaid diagram should be there.
There
And
it is.
if you,
Perfect. Thank
okay, if you guys give me 1 second, I'm gonna go throw a small child.
you. Hope it's onto a bed by. Okay.
Ah, well, fine.
All right. Psionic.
Looks like it's a D3 ish, between D2 and D3.
Got it. Which is, I mean, lightning decisions, threat calculus, right? Read minds.
Yep.
And nobody else we know can do any of that, right?
Not seeing anybody.
Dude's code name is Boy Scout. Oh boy.
You know, we should check and see. Yeah, I think we should split up on this one. I think one of us should go talk to Chavez here, and one of us should go talk to Nightman and try to pinpoint if Chavez has been Nightman, and then maybe like whoever, if there's someone who a doorman or door person at her apartment complex to see if Chavez has ever been there. Or maybe, I mean, I don't like the thought that he might be the one, not that he's the only one, right, who has these skills, but
Yeah. Uh, Jezebel's dungeon at some point, right? We can cross-reference some of that. It'd be
yeah.
better if we had an idea of a suspect and then could ask them, "Hey, were they here?"
Well, and if the Jägermeister bottles were staged, and it was someone, a meticulous person who was staging it, it may not be helpful to go ask around at a liquor store, but maybe someone came and bought them, dumped them, and then used them, right? But this doesn't sound like that kind of person.
No. Um, I I had the caller for Nightman. Do you think that it'd be better for me to talk with him and be intimidating, or would you like to go in as good cop and try to talk to him instead?
Um, I just to check in, Jared, have either of us uh, um interacted with Chavez before?
I mean, yeah, yeah, absolutely. He's been on the force probably longer than anyone else. For you guys anyway, so that's a couple of years anyway. Um, you haven't had a ton of exposure with him. You know that he was the reason that the one of the early Esching cases got thrown out. He uh, he
Mm.
went over the line a little bit on trying to get some evidence.
You know, if it's someone who's meticulous and took time to set this up, as I think about it, he wouldn't be. He's so transparently connected to it, right? No one who's that meticulous would then use their well-known superpower to murder the person. But maybe he's aware of others who might have the same powers as he does.
That's a good point. If he knows we're going to investigate it, something we could figure out, right? So why would he do it?
Right. If he's going to be meticulous in setting up a scene, it's someone who's trying to make it look like Chavez, not Chavez. But I guess we don't want to make any assumptions here.
Uh, I also have occult studies. Can I think about the crucifix and see what that might mean?
100%. Using your occult studies and taking a look at how the body is positioned, the Jägermeister bottles combined with the branding points to a connection to the cult of Saint Hubert. The branding on her left hand is what would be known around the 18th century as Saint Hubert's key. It was used on livestock and also to help um, cure rabies in animals.
Mm, not cool. Do they have? I'm sure this is like a underground thing, right? Like they don't have no practicing member would advertise this, correct? Like it's
Sure. Yeah, probably.
okay. Like, I'll go down to the clubhouse if that's cool. Talk to them.
I mean, I don't know until you start looking around. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
If you spend a
that's a,
push on it, I'll have to create one, I guess.
I know there's a clubhouse they have. I've been there. They all speak with tremendous French accents.
Uh,
I want to go there.
Also, I
And
do want to point out, was that a little racist that all psionic blasters know each other? My goodness. That seems a bit
Mutantist.
mutinist.
mutants.
All right, what do you guys want to do then? What's your next steps?
Seems like we should split up for sure.
Okay.
Yes.
Um, yeah, what are your thoughts on Nightman? I'm trying to remember, how did you leave things with him? I believe I'm the one who pinned him to the wall, and then you whipped him good. Maybe it'd be better if I talk to him, or do you think
Yeah.
if we're gonna go intimidation, then maybe you're the one, but um, maybe we could offer if he has anything to tell us about potential visitors. Maybe we could lever that into a good cop bad cop thing. So I could do it if you prefer to do one of these other pieces.
How about you try that first and see what we get, and if I have to go back and bad cop him, I will.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, so the book is going to go talk to Devil Runner. He was dressed as Nightman from the cartoon.
Great. Oh yeah, thank you. Yep.
I'm going to talk to Boy Scout.
And you're going to talk to Boy Scout. Okay, so
Yeah.
you're both just going back to the thing.
I guess we're going back to the base.
Yeah, you call in the right people to come and get Servant. On your heading on your way out of the alleyway. Um, you do see a familiar figure across the street. It's a woman close to 6 feet, but you can't quite sure. I can't remember who spoke with Maria, the journalist.
That was Jordan.
Okay, so you don't really recognize her.
Yeah. That was the Hound's problem.
Yeah,
Yeah. She did approach us though, so we've all seen her.
yeah. I
But
guess
yeah,
yeah.
no,
That's
Yeah. She showed
yep,
up to hand the card off, but he was the one that like talked to her eventually.
yep. She seems to be hanging out across the street. I'm just gonna trying to look nondescript. When you come walking out of the alleyway, she looks over and she's kind of like, "Oh, hi."
well, you want me to chat with her for a few minutes, or do you? Are there any liquor stores on the street just to like, in case someone got sloppy?
Sure.
Do you want to talk to her or check the liquor store to see if anyone bought a case of Jaeger last night?
When you talk to her, I'll check the liquor store real quick.
Okay.
I want to like as I go by, like pull my glasses down and look at her and put them back up and walk towards the liquor store.
Okay. As you do that, heading towards the liquor store, she like points to her pin, the WWU pin, the "Where were you?" and gives you a thumbs up.
I don't acknowledge. I keep walking.
Okay. I'll keep it short as far as like at the liquor store. No more than usual. There wasn't like a giant run on Jägermeister sales or anything the other night. You're in kind of a place that's got boarded up windows and bars on the windows as well. So no unusual activity like that. You get closer to Maria.
Real
Uh,
quick,
yeah,
can I get a fifth of Jack?
yeah, absolutely.
I get it, and when I get by myself in the alley, I take a big swig.
Okay. So one thing that
Well, it
I
is 5 o'clock a.m. It's after 5, so
It's after 5 somewhere. Oh,
that's right.
PM somewhere. Oh, it's in the morning, but I kind of have the hots for Bambi, so this is a pretty shitty day for me.
yeah, it's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
rough.
Yeah.
This one thing that I do like about that we're not playing the gritty version, but we could definitely spiral into alcoholism, like off the storyline for sure, like old school Hill Street Blues sort of stuff, you know?
I like the idea that that's possible today, that this might be just Brickhouse's worst day. Let's see where it goes.
All right. Maria is just like, oh, hi, Officer. You're kind of one of the new ones. You don't really go out on patrol that much. Sorry, I'm Maria. How are you?
Hey, Maria. I'm Steve. Steve Grabowski. Yeah, I'm new. I came in on the commercial crimes unit. I was over working for the feds, and this the right move for me was to come over here and start getting some steps in over here.
Oh,
I
I
could
should
do
have,
a lot of good.
the shoe should have tipped me off. Yeah. What do you guys got in the alleyway, huh?
Well, why don't we go get? How about tell you what? How about I go grab you a cup of coffee, and I could really use a kickstart.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah. I'll go get us some cups of coffee, and we can start chatting a little bit. What? So what do you? Are you an early morning person? Were you out just walking around? How did you?
Mm,
How'd you know this was an alleyway where there was some action happening?
I'm not gonna pretend. I've been doing this beat for too long on here. Just gonna let you know that your ship is not as tight as you think it is over there at the police station. So I got a little bird he told me.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, and so there's that something was going on. They didn't know. There's something big. And so here I am just kind of following up on some action. What you could do if you wanted to, like you could scratch my back, scratch your back sort of thing here. And she's following you along. Um, and she noticeably, you see this, has turned on her tape recorder. Okay. Uh, she's like, yeah, it's something big, it's something big. So tell you what, you give me first line on it, and I'll sit on it at least until this afternoon. The whole city's gonna probably find out. This whole thing's gonna go up. What's going on?
Well, what's really happening right now is my back is super itchy too, as it turns out. So, what
Okay.
is it you mentioned? Maybe we could help each other out. What did you have in mind? Anything I should know about?
Uh, well, things are. I heard you got KO Boomer locked away. What? Tell me what happened there. I couldn't get that one. If you can get me into talk to him for a story, that would be great. And I can hold on to this story for a day, like 24 hours. That seems fair. Um,
Uh-huh.
now what do you want?
I'd like to know a little bit more about the Eshings, and I'd like to know who it is, uh, who are some of the guests that a certain famous anti-mutant singer has been having up to his room or visiting the places where he's been staying. You think you can find out who's been visiting him?
Yeah.
It's probably a different lady each time, as I understand it, but a couple of those names might be helpful.
Yeah. Yeah, I can find anything like that for you. Not a problem. How do we do this?
Yeah.
How like do you like is there like a drop off spot or like how do you do this?
Oh, you mean how do we exchange the
Yeah,
information?
yeah, yeah, yeah. She seems to be really getting into the excitement of the moment.
Uh, a quick question. When I use my powers, say energy dispersal,
Okay.
what does that look like? Do I have
Uh,
to
yeah, you do have to
like
do some sort of kinetic energy sort of thing or motion or lights, something that indicates you're using a power.
okay, okay. Well, I'll tell you what. You wipe that tape that you're recording right now, and we have a real conversation.
I mean, it's still good to me if it's off the record.
Cha-ching, cha-ching, and like the bell rings as I walk into the coffee shop after I came in from the liquor store.
Sounds good.
Well,
I just
yeah, Mar
silently sit down next to book.
yeah, Maria, you having us on tape, having a conversation about me getting you special access to see KO Boomer, which I'm now saying out loud right now, just to be clear, could get me fired. So tell you what, you give me the tape, and we have a real conversation.
We are having a real conversation, but look, all right. She takes the tape out and just puts it on the table. She's like, there hasn't been anything illegal on this. And I don't know what kind of real conversation. We're having a real conversation.
Well, I tell you what, I'll get you in for an interview with KO Boomer, but I'm gonna need a list of all the folks, all the ladies specifically, the pretty ladies who've gone in to see our anti-mutant rock star friend. I'll just say that there might be an even bigger story than any either of these put together.
You mean like just since he's been here in town?
Uh, you're gonna need to call some friends in other cities. I just want to be able to start interviewing some of his lady friends.
I don't know if I can find that out. Um, I can help you out with anything in this city.
We'll start there.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. Yeah. I can get to work. Yeah. And so with that, she's like, oh, Brickhouse.
Maria,
And maybe we'll see you after lunch down at the station. We can talk some KO Boomer.
Oh, sounds good. I'll see you after lunch. So it's like 6 or 7 a.m. at this point. It's still super early. Um, I assume that you've called in
So,
people to cordon off the alleyway and like start moving her out of there. Um,
so someone down at the station had already tipped her off on this. I mean that's going to happen. There are leaks at every station, right? Um, but she said she'd put a hold on not making any announcements to the public, and I know you'd rather not the public know. I'd rather you have. I know you would probably not want the public to know much about what happened to Bambi, so we'll get as much time here as we can.
I don't think this is the first time we've heard of a leak.
I agree.
it isn't.
They're really,
I don't like it.
especially on a case this big.
Book, nobody likes us. All right, we're on the very tail end of a shit stick. Nobody wants us to succeed. We are here.
Well, let's see what we can get. Let's see if we can get a little justice for Bambi, huh?
Okay.
All right. You both get in the car. Everyone's called in to take care of the crime scene. You head back to the station. Um, one of you is going to talk to Devil Runner. The other one's going to talk to Chavez. Let's do Devil Runner first. He is put into the mutant holding cell which is different than a regular holding cell. He has got a like Sazalayan sort of contraption put around his face and mouth because of his particular superpower. He is in solitary confinement at the moment. Apparently, he tried to do something awful. He's already in there for assaulting a police officer, in now for the peeping Tom charges as well. Um, you're allowed to go down there, and he is. There's gonna be just bars in front of his door.
Hey, Devil, how you doing in there?
How do you think I'm doing? I should have took you out when I could.
Yeah, you'll get a shot some other time. I'm not too worried about that. We won't be able to hold you forever. I don't imagine you'll spend more than a dozen years in prison for assaulting a cop. Maybe you'll get out in 10 years in good behavior. But,
Oh, I
you
think I'm gonna
know,
get myself a good lawyer is what I'm thinking.
yeah, I know most of the lawyers who take your cases. Let's just say I'm not worried about it, but I'll tell you what, I can forgive. I mean, I won't drop the charges to be clear, but I could put in a good word for you. But it might get worse for you real fast. Bambi's dead.
What?
The woman you were stalking is dead.
Look here. I had nothing
Oh,
to do with
you
that.
didn't hear. Oh no, no, no. But it could be that you were an accomplice to something pretty ugly. If you've been following around and stalking her, one could make a case that would knock down any second-rate lawyer that maybe you were spying on her for somebody else.
Nope, I
Unless, I
swear.
mean, unless you had something to give me, anything you might have seen
Uh,
when you were watching her.
is there a skill you want to use here?
I think that would be. Well, I guess I don't have intimidation. I have interrogation. So I guess I'm working the interrogation, and of
Yep,
course bullshit sniffer. So yeah, between bullshit sniffer and interrogation, I'm not negotiating yet.
yep. You can absolutely use interrogation because he is downtown. You have him in a police confinement. So yeah, you can do interrogation. That's absolutely fine. He he's like throaty, raspy sort of sound, like he's always constantly gargling. As just like I, I, I got nothing to do with that. Ah, look, I've only seen her a couple times. I ain't seen nobody else. Uh, I know she got real mad. She got real mad the other night on the phone. Uh, uh, so what that'll be like, what, 2 nights ago, 3 nights ago? She got real mad. Um, and she had one of them there cell phone thingies. She got real mad and I think she threw it, broke it probably. I don't know. But yeah, no, no one, I haven't seen her. No one going up there, but she had a fight with someone on the phone not that long ago.
All right, I'll confirm the day and time with him. Make sure we've got a pretty good timestamp on when he saw that. Was that okay? Well, I'll tell you what, Devil Rider. I'm gonna check this out, and if I see that you're lying about this, we'll see what charges can be brought. If you're telling me the truth on this, we'll see what charges might be dropped a little bit, and I might forgive and forget. So that's how's that sound for you?
Hey, yeah, yeah. Just look, I'm squeaky clean. They're gonna send someone to for the case. I'm just waiting for Laura. She'll be here. She'll help me out.
You say hi to Laura for me. You have a real good morning.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna go hit the computers. I've got some data collection and research to do.
Okay. He seemed honestly shook to find out that Baby Calloway is dead. Oh, give me 1 second. Something bad's happening in the kitchen.
Well, okay. So if he didn't, I guess what we need to do is get phone records, huh?
Yeah.
Probably nothing, but yeah.
All right. You go to find Boy Scout, and
Can I ask a question first?
yes,
On on my our chart here, is threat calculus the same as threat analysis?
good question. Let me look. I probably messed that up myself, honestly. So let's take a look.
Seems the closest thing. It would make a
Yeah.
lot of sense, but I don't see
Yep.
analysis on there.
It's threat calculus.
Very good. Just making sure.
Sorry.
No problem.
Let me double check, actually. Yeah.
Same thing.
Um,
I updated our police tools.
okay, perfect. Yep, please feel free to do so. All right, you go to find Boy Scout. He's not in today. He's supposed to be. Um, he
That's weird.
he was supposed to be on duty last night, but he never checked in. Or he checked in, he left, and then that's it. Hasn't been seen since. Didn't come back.
Where any particular neighborhood he was supposed to be policing?
No, there's nothing on the notes. He didn't check out a police car. He didn't requisition any sort of firearms or body armor or anything like that. He just left.
Uh, Address? Like, where
Yeah,
does he live?
yeah, you can find him. He lives like on the south side, like not awful part of town, but not great. It's a policeman's salary.
Yeah, I'm going to drive down there then, and I'm going to tell Book that's where I'm going.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm completely buried in the computer right now, all about the data retrieval, working the bureaucracy, seeing if I can find cell phone records, looking at the case file from Bambi to see if there's any information. So I'll be doing this for a while.
okay.
Okay, I'll be back as soon as I
Now
can.
I'm gonna shorten that up for a little bit because I don't want to take you out of action for all the research and whatnot. I'm not quite sure how that works. I don't think you can just look up her cell phone records.
Yeah, I'll have to request them, I'm sure. Right.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I
put
think
in a
that's
request, figure out how that works. I don't know if it'd be criminology and law and bureaucracy, right? Like sort of somewhere in there, make the
yeah,
request
You have to
because
get a warrant to get some of that stuff, right?
yeah. Which we said warrants
yeah.
take 24 hours unless you want to use a push to get it sooner.
Mm,
Um, Now,
there's a lot of
here's what I will do is that I have zero problem with you getting that information. Absolutely, that's fine. Um, you can get the phone records probably not until the afternoon. What you can do though is that you can get um, like access to her apartment.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go check out. Tell you what, you go do the thing and then meet me at her apartment. You have better investigation skills. I'll go check her computer and all that. See if I can
Right.
find. Did she have a phone on her when on her body?
Nope.
Okay. I'll go to her. Oh, let's meet up at her apartment.
I know the address.
Okay, let's go to Chavez. So you get to his place. He does own a small one-story house, actually, kind of in the southern kind of not quite suburbs, but it's a brownstone. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. It's a brownstone. Um, it looks nice. Like the front has been mowed. You know, looks like a regular house. What do you want to do?
Uh, Walk up to the front door, start knocking.
No answer.
Is there a window I can look through to see if anybody's in
Sure. How do you want to do this overtly? Do you care if you're seeing it at all?
there? I want to do it quickly. So I'm definitely going to be seen as I'm like trying to look in.
Okay. I need you to make a surveillance check. And I did a little bit more research on it. So the common number that you have to hit is 4. That's kind of the default number. Um, and I'm not supposed to tell you what the numbers are, but I've found that it's a little bit more interesting that way so far.
Yeah. Uh, I'll spend 2,
Okay.
and then I roll a d6 plus 2.
Yep. Exactly right. Trying to get a 4.
Boom.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, you're kind of peeking around through the windows just real quick, trying to see anything. And yeah, you see the top of a head pop down into the bedroom behind his bed. It's like you've kind of gone around the house, peered at the
Okay.
back door or through a back window that's into his bedroom.
I'm gonna rap on the window, hold my badge up, and say, "PD, open up now!" And try to like do a little intimidation while I do it.
You can use intimidation.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, okay. Uh, Geez. We use intimidation. Okay. Uh, he's gonna say, "Fuck off! I'm not coming out without a warrant."
Uh, do I think that's Boy Scout?
Yeah, from your interactions with him, yeah, you do. You think that's Boy Scout?
Okay. I'm gonna say, uh, Chavez. Come on, Chavez. It's me. It's Brock. Just come out and talk.
Okay. When you use his name, he like, huh? Sits up and goes, "What, Brock? What the hell? What do you want,
Let
Brock?"
me in. Let me in.
Is there a skill you want to use here?
Probably try to do a little charm at this point. Yeah. Uh, come on, man. It's me. We gotta stick together on this. I just have questions. Let me in. I'm not gonna hurt you. You know I'm not gonna hurt you.
All right. He comes to the back door. There's a back door. There's a little nice little um lawn. He unlocks the back door. It's like he seems to be looking out the back door when he lets you in. As you walk by him, he's like, "Ooh, holy Christ!" He's probably been drinking uh all of the booze. He has got massive bags underneath of his eyes. He doesn't look like he is showered or slept in 24 hours. Is what you guess.
Okay.
As he come in, he slams the door behind you and locks it. He's like, come to the kitchen, come to the kitchen." And he's already got coffee pots going. He's probably already had a couple cups this morning.
Does he smell like Jägermeister?
He does
It
not.
has a distinct smell. Okay.
It has
Just
a
making
very
sure.
distinct smell. It does. You're absolutely right. Normally, I would say if you have the olfactory superpower, you can smell it
Yeah.
immediately.
Yeah.
But
The Jaeger special.
but no, you're pretty sure he's like, no, no.
uh, Chavez, who are you expecting here, man?
Look, man, I don't know. I don't. I I don't remember what happened last night. Okay, look, I don't know what happened. Okay, I woke up at the preserve, and you now notice that his clothes are a little muddy. Uh, Get to the right spot. Look. I woke up out in Preserve. I had no idea where. Um, Look, okay. I got a phone call. I got a phone call. I've been trying to phone. Uh, okay, I went to the Preserve. I think. I think something happened there. I went there to look after a friend, and then
Bambi.
I,
Bambi was the friend.
yeah, how'd you know?
She's dead, Chavez.
Oh God, I thought that was just a dream.
What
Um,
did you do?
she was arguing with someone, and the next thing I know, I'm chasing her through the preserve. Uh, she had been shot with an arrow, and the next thing I know is that I'm strangling her, and then I woke up. I woke up out in the preserve. I have no idea what happened. Oh my God.
Someone someone had control of your brain, right? Right?
What?
It wasn't you.
Oh, uh, yeah, yes.
Bullshit
Yes,
detector.
yes. Um, you are. He is not bullshitting you. That's the best way I can say that.
Yeah.
All right, and switch. Okay. The book. You roll up to a very classy Upper West Side flat. She lives, I can't remember what floor we said. I think it was like the eighth or tenth floor or something like that. She's up there. It's it's very classy, but an old school, like this is old school money apartment sort of stuff. You see like old kind of cameras out there, whatever.
It was
You get
eighth
in the
story. Wrote in my notes.
eighth, perfect. Um, you
I'm
hop on
so
the
proud.
elevator. You head on up there, and you're standing outside the posh apartment. You had to show them that you were a policeman. There is a doorman. You talked your way in, not a problem. You're standing outside the posh apartment. You can hear a low cacophony of strange noises, like someone is tearing the place apart while hunting a small but particularly yappy dog.
And the door's shut or the door's open?
Door is shut.
I'm tempted to pull my gun, but I don't think I'm going
you
to. Oh man, I am not stealthy.
you did get a key to get into the apartment.
Yeah, yeah. I'm gonna try to open the make. Well, I'm just gonna try the handle. Is it unlocked currently?
It's locked.
Okay, I'm gonna do my best to use the key to open that, unlock it very, very quietly, as quietly as I'm able to.
Yeah, with
And
the
I
amount of
have,
noise that's going on the inside, whoever or whatever's on the inside is not hearing the lock
I,
hitting it and the tumbler is turning in you slowly as you peek into the room.
yep.
The amount of some vermin does not do it justice. There are mice ripping the upholstery off of couches, raccoons chewing on photos, and rats gnawing on frames. If you would like to make sure that you don't want to be seen, I'm gonna need a check from you.
Give him a head a shake. Would I have any way? I mean, I know people can cause illusions and sensory funkiness.
Hmm.
Have I ever experienced that before? Is there any way, like a saving throw or anything I would be able to do to try
I
to
don't
see if this? not a fake?
Yeah,
Because
I don't think you
this is
have
weird.
personally, but how you fight all those mind affecting type powers like that is you make a oh shoot, what's that called? It's your sanity roll. It's a composure roll if you want to.
Yeah, I think so. I'm because I mean it's possible someone like summoned or the zoo man brought all the animals. I don't know. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna try to shake off this as an illusion because this is yeah, that's what I'm gonna do.
Okay, great. Give me a composure roll.
So how do I do that?
It's just a d6, and if you want to spend points off your composure to give you bonuses to the roll, that's it. Normally, I would tell you what the number is because that's the way we've been playing it. I'm not going to tell you what the number is for this time.
Okay. So do I declare how many points, composure points I'm spending up front?
Yep.
And
Yeah,
which one
spending
gives me
composure and
plus?
health points is really weird because that's your health that you're spending, usually to prevent that thing from happening to you. But yeah,
Okay, so I'm gonna do a decent. I'm gonna what 2 points would give me +2 on it, and I
mhm,
need some number.
some number.
All right, I'm gonna do yeah. I'm gonna spend 2 on it, so I'll do a d6. Is it d6 +2 then?
Okay.
A 5.
Okay. All right. So since you didn't slam the door back right away and you're just kind of staring like, what the fuck? You've determined that they are not illusions. They are not, your mind is not being messed with. As they all simultaneously freeze and turn their beady little eyes towards you, reflecting the light from the hallway off their mirror like eyes. And-
HICU, come out with your hands up.
all
Yeah,
right, I'd like an initiative roll.
yeah, uh, yeah.
So it's going to be a
And I think this is
d6 plus whatever pool that you're going to use. Oh, actually, you know what? No, let's switch. Let's switch back to Brickhouse. Look, what? Oh my God, how much trouble am I in? Is she's really dead?
Did he have a gun that he was
Yeah, he has a
like?
gun.
Is it on him now,
Oh yeah.
or did he set it down like the counter or something?
No, he's got it stuffed into his back belt loop.
Just a
It's
handgun.
not his service revolver either.
Okay. Why'd you pick the codename Boy Scout?
What?
Why do they call you Boy Scout?
'Cause I'm always prepared. I see it before it happens, and I'm always ready.
But not with Bambi.
No, no, no. Look,
Her
it.
brain was scrambled, Chavez. Who knows how to do that?
Yeah, you can tell when you're asking him questions, he's still in a little bit of a daze. But because of his superpower of threat calculus, he's connecting the dots as you're saying them. If and he's just like, oh my God, I need a lawyer. I'll go on the lam. Look, you can tell. You don't have to say that you
No,
saw me.
you've been compromised. We can protect you, but not at work. Go on the lam, sure, but if you do, you have to work with us. And if you've been compromised, you might be the leak and you don't even know it.
Oh my God. Um,
Look at me. Look at me. I trust you. I don't think you did it. I mean, I think you did it, but I don't think you were meant to. I think that someone controlled you, man. We need allies right now. I can call this in. They can come and get you, but you're not going to survive. All right. Because everybody is against us. People like you and me.
Are you using any sort of skill or a push?
I just don't think. Hmm.
Yeah, unfortunately, your character doesn't have that sort of thing. Well,
I have
mm,
reassurance,
so
illicit information, and minor favors.
no,
A
reassurance was
label.
exactly what I was looking for. I didn't know that you had that.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I
awesome,
got that.
perfect, great. Like just based on the role playing alone, I want to give that to you because that was fantastic. That was wonderful. He's like, "Ye- okay, okay. Look, I was wearing this when I woke up." And he reaches into his back pocket and he pulls out a bright pink gimp mask.
Evidence bag.
Okay.
Put it in
You,
there.
you've got evidence
Where
collection,
the hell
right?
did you get? Where did you get this? Yeah, I have evidence collection.
Okay.
Where'd you get this?
It's not mine.
Jezebel's dungeon, maybe.
I've never been there.
Yeah, but you also don't remember fucking killing Bambi either. Use some calculus and extra, like, fucking think about this, man.
Look, I don't know. All right. He goes with you though, and he'll even let you cuff him.
No, that's okay. I want to keep this legit, but I'm gonna hide you at my place for now. I don't want
Yep.
to take him to headquarters,
Okay. Okay.
so I don't trust fucking anybody at headquarters right now.
Okay. That's fair. He does say that the last thing that he had a big fight with Bambi about was that she said something weird about making sure that the police station, the heightened crime unit, was going to get a good payday. That she was blackmailing someone and she was going to go do the deal. He told her not to go.
Why'd you tell
Um,
her that?
Look, it's my power. It was a terrible play on her part.
What about my play? Stashing you without telling HQ. How's that for threat calculus?
Okay, so it's normally for combat hit, loss, okay, can spend a point. Well, I think I think it'd probably be better if I turn myself in or go on the land,
Can you
which
go on
guess
the
staying at your
lam?
house.
We have
Going at your,
lamb in my house.
yeah, I guess, yeah, sure.
I
Yeah, if you
mean,
want to stash them in your house.
if he's gonna go on the lam, I'd rather he be at a place where I know that
Okay,
just I know.
okay.
If it makes more sense to put him on the lam at like Motel 6, like I can dig that too. If that makes more sense to him with his super brain.
Nope, you can put them on, you can stash them at your house. That's not a problem. All right, book. Have you decided what you're going to do?
Do we know? I don't know of anybody who has like. I guess the King Rat might be here, but I haven't. I can't imagine a vagrant would get up into this building this far. I'm gonna. Oh God. I'm not gonna draw my weapon. I'm gonna prepare to use control gravity. How do I roll that into an initiative check?
Okay. So what that means, you're going to use your control gravity power. So it's whatever your number is right now in gravity control plus D6. That's how you do initiative.
Okay, thank you. Yep, that was the
Yep.
part where I was trying to figure out.
Yep. And I'm at 1D6 plus 6. Uh, oh, I got a 7.
Yes, I got a I got a 15. All right, I maxed
Okay.
out. I was like totally ready for this. It's not even a surprise to see a army of raccoons in the house.
All right, what are you gonna do?
All right, I'm gonna yell, you know, give it up! Don't make me hurt your little friends here. And I'm gonna hold my gravity control, and if they rush me, I'm gonna just try to blast them backwards, or I guess throw them up to this, hold them up to the ceiling.
Okay.
Can I do a group like that?
Yeah, that's what I'm looking up right now. You can decrease the pull of gravity on a particular object. So it has a lot of single target stuff, but you want to do it in an area, right?
Yeah, like maybe if I can reverse gravity off the carpet, I guess. Right, like anything that comes close to me, I want to just have a like a float into the sky zone
Oh,
right
okay.
in front of me.
Okay. Yeah, you can do it within an area. All right, you may spend 2 or 4 gravity points to activate the power. If you spend 2, the movement rates of all creatures then are halved. If you spend 4, anyone within the area must make an athletics check with a difficulty equal to your gravity control rating to move at all. In combat, attempts take all the character's energy and attention, forfeiting their chance to make an attack during the current round. So you won't be able to attack anyone. The gravity field remains in force for a number of rounds equal to your rating or until you choose to drop it. Okay.
Yep.
So it's going to cost
Uh,
4 points to do it. And then I have a. All right. So I need to figure out the total weight of these vermin. Things I didn't think I would think. What do we think? Do they weigh about a motorcycle's weight? Or like a
that's a lot.
peanut?
A raccoon, a motorcycle made of raccoons. How many raccoons would that be? That'd be a couple. That'd be at least a dozen, couple dozen raccoons.
Yeah. Okay.
The
So
worst math problem I've ever heard, you guys.
Americans will do anything to avoid using the metric system. Yeah,
okay.
I imagine it would probably be a motorcycle's worth of animals. I mean, that's a few hundred pounds, right?
I mean, in the book, because it is British publishing, it is 300 kilograms. Uh,
So that's like
so
606. Yeah, it's like it's over 600, 700
yeah,
pounds.
I think that
That's
works.
a
So it gives me my target number that you need to make with your check. So you spend 4 points to do an area, and then now you need to make a roll to defeat whatever rank I've got it at.
okay.
Um, because we're doing this for the first time using these abilities this way, I'm going to tell you right now that it is you need a 4 or better. Before you roll, do you want to spend any more points? Because you had to spend 4 to do the whole area in the first place.
And then I have to spend more points to bump it from there,
Hmm.
huh?
Now, it will keep them aloft for quite some time where you can do stuff
Yeah.
in the apartment, but you won't
Uh,
be able to do any like
I'll
actions like attacking or stuff like that.
so I'd have to throw in 3 points to guarantee success,
Yep.
right? I'll throw in 1 point. Okay.
Okay,
Yep.
great.
So 5. Yep.
All right, what do you have left in the tank? How many points do you have left?
4.
Okay.
Yeah. I decided I wanted enough to use it one more time if I had to.
Okay, got
So
it.
yeah, we got 4 points on my original 9. So I'll lift them all. I don't want to, like, I'm not like really wanting a bunch of rabid raccoons and mice to feel great, but I don't want to like kill them, right? Like
Yeah.
I just want to hold them up to the ceiling and then, oh God, yeah, I'm gonna move into the room.
Okay. All right, let's describe what you're looking at here. Okay. Let's see. Besides the general chaos, the room uh the room is left. So every picture, photo, and painting has been ruthlessly destroyed. All wires that lead to electronic equipment has been chewed through, as well as including a laptop and one of those new throwback analog answering machines left over from when the flat was constructed. The bedroom, like everything else, is largely untouched. Like there's a couple mice or rats chewing on some upholstery, but most of the damage has been limited and focused on pictures. Like there's a picture next to her bedside, totally torn up. Giant posters of her ad campaign, totally destroyed.
Uh, Forensic psychology. If I'm assuming that these animals were controlled by someone with the ability to control mammals or rodents or whatever, um, forensic psychology on what's going on with the person who would have sort of ordered that sort of strike.
Mm, it looks pretty scattershot, right? It seems like he was given a basic command, and then that command was followed. Um, to destroy some sort of picture of something.
Okay, so she probably I suspect. Okay, so it's a pretty blunt instrument sending these mammals in to do things.
Yeah,
So destroying a picture of her with somebody probably. Grab the laptop and look around. Well, you know what? Actually, check the rest of the place. See if there's anyone else in here. I guess I better sweep the place to see if there's anyone, just to make sure I'm not at risk.
sure. You peek around and you see like some vermin and varmints like in the closet in the bedroom that aren't in the area that you've got, which you can quickly shut if you want to. But you don't really find anything else. Remember, all wires were also chewed that were attached to any sort of electronic device too.
Yep, I'll just pick up. Yeah, I'll grab the answering machine. I'll grab the laptop. Maybe I can get something off them and look around for a cell phone or a cell phone bill. I mean, I got to do this fast. I only have like 9 rounds, so
Yeah.
um, yeah, make it fast. See if I can find a stack of bills. Hopefully, it's one of those cell phone bills where it lists all the previous calls or something like that. That's what I'm going for.
Okay. Would you like to use any skills?
I do not have the right skills for this task.
Hmm,
Yeah, data retrieval, document analysis. If I can grab the digital stuff, I have some skills I can use there. But in terms of like
okay.
finding stuff here, not really.
The data retrieval stuff you'll use later, right? Because you're just trying to grab the laptop and the answering machine to get those out of there. Document analysis, you happen to find underneath a bunch of documents that were, or not documents, a bunch of pictures that were already shredded underneath them. You find some paperwork um, that is from her latest ad campaign for makeup.
Okay, yeah, I'll grab all of that. Um, Anything that looks like a Rolodex
Mm-mm.
or address book, phone
Yeah,
book.
you do find a cell phone completely shattered.
Yeah, I'll take that. Maybe I can get something off the chip inside it. Uh, or at least, yeah. Okay. Yep, I'll get all that. And I'm probably running out of time, so I'm gonna get
Yes.
out of there and shut the door behind me.
Okay. You wait another like 30 seconds as you hear the whoomp of a bunch of varmints skittering, crashing down into the carpet. All right. I assume that you guys are planning on meeting up, or maybe not. I don't know. What's your guys' next step?
I'd originally asked you to come meet me at her place. I did not expect that to happen, but that didn't take nearly as long as I thought it might. So,
Yeah. I mean, I would go and set up uh, Chavez at my place. Like, don't answer the phone. Don't answer the door. When I knock, Uh, I'm going to say, on my honor, I will do my best. And then you will say, to do my duty to God and my country. All right?
Okay. Now you do know that. Yep. Oh, what were you gonna say?
Chavez, when was the last time you worked with Sasha Pierto at work?
No, she's on my shift. She works night shift with me.
You're close?
I mean, as close as you can get in a job like this. You know how it goes. We don't generally bond over our trauma. You kind of have to fend for yourself.
She wasn't on your shift that last night?
I know she checked in, but I don't know. I just left.
Okay. There's plenty of ramen. Eat as much as you want.
Classic.
Don't answer the door unless somebody is reciting the scout oath. Do you understand?
Okay.
We're gonna get through this, buddy. You're gonna be all right.
Okay. Now you
And then
do know.
I'm gonna radio my boy and say, I'm on my way to Bambi's house. Where are you?
I think that's to you. The book.
Book, come
Yeah,
in, over, book. Shh.
I'm probably yeah, not I'm probably like, what the hell's happening right now? Because I'm still trying to figure out what's going on with an army of rats and raccoons. Yeah, I'll be just meet me outside of her apartment building. I yeah, don't come up.
10-4, over. I keep interrupting you, Jared. What do you want to tell me?
Yeah, I'm
So
gonna yeah, I'm gonna tell you what just went down. That uh, yeah, there were an army of rodents ripping everything apart, shredding all evidence of images of her in the apartment. And here, yeah, here's all the electronics I found. I think we take this back, do some forensic work on the digital and the data part here, and then maybe all we've got that I could find was this ad campaign. No Rolodex, nothing. So I don't know how we track down who she's been talking to, but this ad campaign, they might know something because that's probably where she's been spending a lot of time lately. Maybe some ad execs got some powers we don't know about. I don't know.
Maybe. You don't think King Rat had anything to do with all the vermin?
He's the one we'd know about. I do we know? Let's go pull his record to see if maybe he's known for wandering around with a bow and arrow out at the preserve. I don't know. Her being most dangerous gamed with an arrow in her leg is just real bizarre to me. I don't even know where to begin with that.
Uh,
So yeah,
We're outside the apartment and we're not in the vehicle, right? Uh,
oh yeah. How things go with Chavez?
yeah. Let's pull into the alley over here real quick.
All right.
Duck in there. Uh, Unbutton my shirt. I'm not wearing a wire. Do the same thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
What are we doing here? What's up?
Chavez did it. He killed her. I'm pretty sure that he didn't do it on purpose. I think that he was being controlled.
You sure you don't want to just believe that to be true? Or do you think he really didn't do it?
I am gonna finally jump in here because book is
Yeah.
bringing up a good point that you guys can know for sure using the EMAT protocol. Um, if anyone
Oh,
has detect influence as a skill, you can do it outside of the office. Otherwise, you have to bring them down to the station and you can run tests.
do we have the skill?
I know someone does. If you want to call them in, I would be fine with that.
I didn't want to do it because I didn't want to take anybody down because last time we did that, they fucking took our caller away and our witness. And so that's why I really was trying to not make that happen. But if we know
Okay.
someone that we trust that we can bring down, is it Beast Boy? Is it
Cold
Hound?
case. Yeah.
Is it Hound?
No, sorry. No, Lilacs, Suzanne Schmidt, Rachel's number 2.
Yeah, the Hound has it.
Oh, Hound does too. Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, Lilacs. We haven't met Lilacs yet. Or no, Lilac doesn't have it.
Detect influence?
Yeah, influence detection. She's got
Oh,
history.
no, you're right. Oh, okay.
And Weaver.
I
Weaver and the Hound.
Detect influence is a mutant power, right?
It's a skill. Does she have a
Oh,
superpower? I wasn't even
yeah,
looking at
she has
superpowers.
power detect influence. Oh, influence
Oh,
detection
damn.
versus detect influence. Okay. I
Oh,
see.
yeah, she's got the
I see what
superpower.
we're doing here.
Oh, wow. Yeah, so she's got the superpower that can do it.
Well, shit. Either way, yeah.
Yeah, if either one of them's available, I know everyone else is busy tonight or this day. So
Yeah. Um, you know, Sacha Pietro, Red Queen.
hmm
She has a skill set that might make somebody not remember what they're doing and even influence them potentially.
we got a time. Yeah, no, you're right. You're right, but we've got to tie them together some,
We do.
right? All right. So I'm gonna start cracking down on the cell phone, the laptop, and the answering machine. Do you want to maybe get Chavez to somebody for influence detection, and then maybe look into this ad campaign thing?
Sure. Don't bring up Chavez and anybody else.
Not today. I'll give you.
Not today. I'm not saying exactly. Not today.
All right. Not today.
All right.
But we got to get that influence detection ASAP because if we don't find evidence of that, we don't have much choice here.
I'll track down Suzanne.
Yep, that works. Now, Suzanne would be asleep normally. She's part of the second uh, shifter, shifters. But yeah, that's fine. You can get a hold of her. Through the power of role playing someone else's character, she's like, fine, you owe me. Um, you first shifters think you have all the power. Tell you what, pull the strings and get me on first shift. I'm done with this second shift stuff. Now, you don't have
Uh,
any power, but
I can talk to Night Nurse to see if she wants to switch over. I know that she began second shift. That was how she got her name. So maybe she'd be willing to go back uh, and switch some shifts with you. I'll do what I can. I'm gonna do a little charm on her.
okay. Yep. All right. She's like, all
Lilac,
right.
we're always my favorite.
All right, fine. You got me. All right, so Lilac's gonna be heading over to your house. Um, all right. Steve, you get back to the office and you start running stuff. And what's the first thing that you're gonna do?
Focus on see if I can recover anything off the chip on the cell phone.
Okay. With the cell phone and from the request that you got from trying to look up the phone calls or whatever, I'll tie these two together. That's fine at this point. Is that yeah, she had an outgoing number to an unlisted number. Um, it lasted about, I don't know, 15 minutes or so. That was the night before. And at that point, the cell phone loses power, which would if you piece it all together, it actually ties in with what Devil Rider was saying when she was having a fight on the with someone over the phone. So she was talking to someone on the cell phone, got mad, threw it. Um,
So we have
the
the number, we just don't know whose it is.
correct, yes. And let's see, yeah. Then you've got the old school answering machine. You managed to,
And
using
yeah,
your
that
data
yeah,
retrieval, you piece it together, and you managed to fix it to a certain point, get the tape kind of tied back together. And a simple message. He was like, "Oh, I see you blocked me from your cell phone calls. Look, I understand that whatever we had might be over, but you need to listen to me. You're playing with absolute fire. You need to take me with you, whatever you're planning on doing."
does it sound like Chavez?
Yes, it does. If you do cop talk, you yeah, you definitely tell that it's a cop, and you since you're already tying it together, yeah, that's Chavez leaving a message. So they obviously had something going on a little bit deeper than just being a police officer.
Yeah. Yeah, and she knows something that's going on. Something, yeah, she was onto something bigger. All right, yeah, it's probably time for the laptop. See if I can break into her email or whatever might be on there.
Yep. You break into the email, and it's surprisingly prim and proper. There isn't a whole bunch on there. It doesn't look like she was too much into keeping records or like hacking or anything like that. She didn't spend a lot of time on her computer, but she has one. Um, Now, this is a part for me that I'm going to, I think, skip for this part. Because I want to, this is going to help me for the playtesting part mostly. But between the document that you got in the computer, another set of clues that you would get is that she is um, threatening to drop out of her current modeling contract with Euphora, which is not a modeling agency, but a line of makeup. And they are, it looks like she was going to be their main spokesperson for a new line of makeup, but she is threatening to expose them that they are still using animals for test subjects. And she recently found out, and she is going to ruin them if they don't change their. Um,
Huh.
yeah.
Wow. So I wish I would have grabbed a mouse or a raccoon to see if they were being mentally. I mean, they were being mentally controlled, right?
Mhm.
Huh. It
This is
was
my favorite clue. What's that?
Euphora was the makeup line.
Hmm.
Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
One of my favorite clues that I threw in here that isn't a huge clue, but it's something. Do you have natural sciences? Or let me make sure I'm asking the right question. Um, there it is. Do you have natural history? Okay.
No, I took architecture instead.
Well,
Wait. Oh, natural history?
hmm
I don't see it on the. Oh, there it is. Okay, no, no, I do not.
right on. So that's going to be like for the longer campaign sort of thing thrown in there. Um, Now,
Nightmares does. I do not.
yeah, but for what we're trying to do for the playtesting, probably not. Now, it is 9/11. I am going to say that you guys are one, two, three. Oh, okay. You've done three scenes out of the one, two, three, four, out of the eight scenes that I have put together for this adventure. So you're about halfway through. This is really good for me because you definitely guys went a different direction, but it's also kind of tied back to the first part of the adventure too. So it is 9:12. I know that's 10:12 for Aaron. Do you guys want to keep going?
It's fine with me. Yeah, but
I would like at least Lilacs to talk to Chavez.
Oh, sure. Yep. Okay. So that's the information that you get back at the office. It's getting close to about noon at this point. All right, Lilacs
yeah,
gets to your apartment, and you go back and you do the Boy Scout code.
Yep. Well,
Uh,
man, I'll do my best.
he says his part.
To do my duty to God and my country.
Do my duty to God and the country. Um, he does tell you he doesn't believe in all that stuff anymore, but he he gets into the place and he's like, "Well, who's this? Oh, Lilacs?
She's gonna be able to tell. We just got to make sure.
Oh, okay. Influence. Okay.
If Rachel was in an orchestra pit, like playing a keyboard right now, I would totally call her, and she'd be like, "Yes, let's do this." Literally, like playing a piano in an orchestra pit, so probably not available. But
That's pretty awesome, though.
yeah, which is
Oh
where Murph
my!
gets to have her lesson tomorrow
Oh, that'll be exciting.
at the theater.
Yeah, yeah. I haven't told her exactly where we're going tomorrow for the lesson, so I actually think it's
That's it's gonna
cool.
be fun. Yeah.
Okay, she's gonna spend all the points to do it. Um, did you know if you have detect influence, if you see the person doing it, you can track them down based on their aura afterwards? Crazy pants. And like
That's a great
you can
ability.
also track them later if you weren't there when it happened. Insane. That being said,
Maybe we do want to switch her out with Night Nurse. That sounds good.
yeah, it's way more powerful than I thought. That's great. It'd be really
Yeah.
good for this one. But yes, um, uses her power, just like the old kind of looking thing. And yes, okay, the discovery of mental power is not the core clue that advances the current investigation, make detected, use teletone. Okay, so it gives off a certain aura of his aura, and it is he was possessed.
And is that a specific mutant power?
Yes.
Okay.
Make sure I'm looking at the right one. Yeah, possession.
would that be control mammals?
No, possession.
Oh, okay, possession. Okay, got it.
Yep. All right,
I'm
my
looking.
my gritty gumshoes. What do you want your next steps to be?
I want to be able to find possession on the damn chart.
Oh, sure, I can look that up. Mhm.
It's D1, dead center D1.
Thank you. There it is. All right, great. Oh, it probably isn't Sasha, but no.
It could be Reese Slater. Absorb powers and fangs. That'd be in the neighborhood. I don't know if we know that Reese has plasma deficiency, but it would make sense that that they wouldn't tell us that they have possession, right? I'm sure that's got to be illegal as hell to use.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if you get convicted of even using attempted possession, I think it's 20 years. It's one of the big ones.
Yeah, I mean, fangs absorption, it's right there. Okay.
So, yeah, so here's the evidence. I pulled together. She was talking to someone at an unlisted number, which we have. We don't know whose it is. Um, Chavez was warning her that she was in trouble and was saying he wanted to go with her to wherever it is she was going with. So Chavez was there while she was confronting someone. She might be blackmailing or whistleblowing. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there. Um, but she was threatening to drop out of her contract with Euphora, a makeup line, because they're doing animal testing.
And then they send uh, King
Someone
Rat.
or somebody, or I don't know what's going on with that, right? Maybe this isn't a power at all. Maybe they something about the testing they're doing is made it so that they can control the animals without King Rat. It seems like finding a vagrant to help do this seems a little like a stretch, but it's possible because they're working with animals. Yeah, something could be going on there, but they're using animals as test subjects when they shouldn't be. Someone controls him, and then the animals. There's multiple things going on here.
Are we having this conversation at my house?
I was thinking we're still in the car,
Okay.
so I
Uh,
don't know. We got to find out what's going on with you, whoever her contact is at Euphora, and we got to find out something about this unlisted cell phone number.
what's the motive book? Who kills her?
Someone controls Chavez, has Chavez killer. I don't know what's going on with the arrow wound. That doesn't make sense to me yet. But
No.
someone at Euphora is trying to shut her up before being a whistleblower that on this violation with the animals.
It's big enough for that, you think?
We haven't heard anything else, and Chavez's answering machine warning was pretty intense. Right? She was going to go confront somebody. She confronted him, and now she's dead.
I
And
mean,
his meticulous staging of her dying in a drunken, getting strangled in a drunken whatever, that sounds like corporate security to me. Not a random serial killer that stumbles on them, controls Chavez, and tries to stage it. Right? This
sure.
seems like a corporate cop.
So let's say that Reese is the most likely person to control Chavez to do it.
Maybe. I mean, is it possible that it was aggression? Maybe. I don't know. If it was possession, it was possession. If it was possession, it was possession, though.
Yeah, the way that power works, it like you know exactly what it is.
Yeah. Okay. So it wasn't just aggression.
Only guy we know that could do it. That's close to that.
Yeah. I wonder if he knows other people that have that power, or they already.
Maybe.
Never
I
mind.
just talked to him
Yeah.
yesterday.
It's
No, where's that come from?
yeah. Maybe we need to do is go talk to someone at Euphora and find out who her contact was. I can't imagine Reese is working for Euphora.
Why not?
He run his own. Reese runs their own bar, isn't it?
I just talked to him yesterday. He's very pro mutant. Uh, if Bambi was going to blackmail someone and release information about a mutant ally that was going to make them look bad, I don't know.
What's our next move? You think?
You want to go talk to Euphoria? Let's go talk to Euphoria. But I think we're going to come back to Reese.
Yeah. You want
But I
to?
don't think we have enough to book him on anything right now either.
No, no, and I don't know what's going on with these animals, but I don't necessarily know that it's King Rat that would have done that. Maybe they hired him. Maybe Euphoria's hiring mutants to do hit jobs, but that seems like it's making the story bigger, not smaller. That doesn't seem like controlling the situation. That seems like blowing it up.
I think that my gut tells me the crucifix branding is a red herring, trying to put us on the cult, create a boogeyman. I think this sounds like a corporate plot. I think you're right. Let's put a bunch of red herrings all in one spot so that we track a bunch of shit and we don't go to this. But honestly, I think money is always the best motive, and big corporation, they got money to lose. I think it's a good place to start.
What do you think? Euphoria the lawyers for Euphoria are going to block us trying to get that contract.
I,
What
I
was
will
Have
let
any
the
other?
paperwork? Yeah, the paperwork that I found that might give us any insight on this.
now I will let you know that Euphoria is a up and coming makeup place. That this was their first big contract and big release, and they're going to serve it as their cover girl, basically. Um, so they are in top. You can contact them there. But the the documents that you found on there, that was her starting to put together some actual um, lawyering up sort of threatening jargon was on the document. The computer stuff was just doing research into animal testing. So those two things together got you that clue.
Any any name in there that's a contact that Bambi would have had, like like a handler, a marketing person, somebody that would have been like her point of contact there.
Yeah, what we can say is that the reason that she knows that is she got to know one of the scientists that was working on the makeup, right? Um, ooh, no, I know what it is. This I got it. This makes a lot more sense. Someone from Evolve had broken into their testing facilities and discovered this.
Do you think maybe we go talk to Chavez and see if he remembers what it was that she was doing?
We could try.
Yeah. I mean, if they wiped his memory, they wiped his memory. That tells us even more information.
If you remember something before that, though, yeah, let's go. Let's go talk to him. I'll circle
Okay.
right around back to the block where we were.
Oh, hey guys.
Hey, we're back. I'm gonna do my best. Blah 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 blah.
Okay. Um, what what do you guys want?
What What's the last thing you remember Bambi talking to you about? Specifically about Euphoria.
Euphoria. No, just I don't know. She had some big contract that she was really excited to do. Um, now she the the big fight we were having about is that it was something about uh, she's gonna go meet up with an old flame, and we were gonna get paid. The department was gonna get paid. So it was some sort of. I'm guessing that she was trying to
Blackmail.
I think she was trying to blackmail someone that had enough juice to be able to get a bunch of money to the department.
Okay. You sub Maria's number?
Sure do.
This seems like the kind of information Maria might know about old flames that Bambi had.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, she's a public figure, right? She's pop culture kind of a thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
paparazzi and shit, taking pictures of people. And
She'll be here in just a couple hours, actually, to talk to
Yeah,
to Boomer.
you're about to
perfect.
get a phone call from Sergeant Barnes going like, "Th- there's a reporter here that wants to talk to you."
We're on our way.
Oh yeah. No, I'll be right there. I'll be right there.
We'll go back downtown.
All right. So what's your goes next up? Is it to you talk to Maria into
Find
looking up?
Old Flame.
Okay.
I want to get put in for a court. What's the word I'm looking for?
Warrant.
A warrant. I need to get more information about this unlisted number. Either to try to call it and talk to them and run a trace on it, where they are, whatever. The alternative would be to try to get the ownership records, who's paying the bill on that phone.
Okay.
Um,
You are going to.
probably the second one. Probably trying to get a court order to get the second information on the owner of it.
You are. It's going to be a burner phone.
Damn. Well, in that case, let's turn on the recording and give it a call. What do you think?
Sure.
Yeah. So let's dial that bad boy up.
You get the do do do. This number has been disconnected or is unavailable.
Uh, can I put Cody St. James on something? His shift doesn't start until a little bit later.
It's starting about now.
Great. I want him to start surveillance on Reese.
Okay.
And he has electronic surveillance, data retrieval, document analysis, lots of fun, nerdy stuff. And I want to know where Reese is going, who he's talking to, whatever Cody can pick up and gather information on. I want to know.
Okay. Yep. Not a problem. Can put stick your hounds on Reese, not the hound. Just some hounds. All right. So
Is this the surveillance check? I mean, Cody's got 8 points in surveillance, right? Do we do checks with that? How does that work?
well, so if we take a look at how that works, right? So electronic surveillance, you can trace phone calls, plant secret. Oh, that's the skill. Oh, we're looking at. Oh, you know what? Give me a second because I wrote those down too. Copied them down. I meant to say. Copy. Post. That's for Eric. And then here's for Aaron's character. There you go. So if we. Oh no. I put them in the wrong part. Pardon me. There we go. And Aaron. All right, let's take a look at surveillance. So that is for you're good at following suspects without revealing your presence. Basically, it's to be able to track someone without them knowing. That's how
Perfect.
surveillance works. And that would be a check. Um, if the person you're following even would, well, yeah, there would be some sort of check later on for sure. Um, but you're planning on going back to the station for what exactly? What do you? Is
Talk
it
to Maria,
okay?
and she's going to talk to Boomer. And then I think we talk to Euphora after that. Yeah.
Yep. I'll go in and get KO Boomer out for Maria, and get him in a room. One of those rooms with the big glass windows with the blinds where she can see him in there. And I'll say, so, I'd love to let you chat with him, but what have you got for me on our rock star friend?
Well,
I'm gonna need some of his friends' names.
okay. Well, so like in this city, like he's just been holed up in his. He's been, I mean, as far as I can tell, he's just been a good little boy, just staying in his hotel room. Like his his guard dogs that he's got around him, or I don't know if they're protecting him or making sure he doesn't go anywhere. Whatever they're doing is working. So he's just been staying in his hotel room. He's kind of like on house arrest right now, so he's not going anywhere. Just hanging out.
Yeah, but who's been visiting him? We know that he may have had women up to his hotel room over the last since he's gotten here. Anyone? Listen, I'm gonna cut to it, Maria. We think we think he plays pretty rough games, and we want to know who some of his partners have been because I don't know if that's newsworthy that a major rock star is takes his liberties, but
Mm.
we'd like to talk to him about some of the things he might have broken.
Um, I mean, the only good mutant only came to this town just recently, just like that night to play their gig. They were supposed to be out of town already at this point. They're on a North American tour. They're from Ireland. I mean, they're like as far as like here in the city, from what I can tell you, like I don't know anything else about them. You probably know more than anyone else since you've been investigating them. Um, like I can try and reach out to other newspapers if they've heard anything from on their tour dates, but um, I'll be honest with you, other newspapers don't like me.
Well, I mean, as resourceful as you've been, I can see why. Ooh, uh, um,
That's
go
hurtful.
go talk
Hey,
to Boomer. Go talk to
Maria,
Boomer. You got 15 minutes.
real quick, Maria. A book can be a little bit rough around the edges, and I apologize. He doesn't understand the ins and outs and the idiosyncrasies of journalism like I do.
I'll roll my eyes. Oh God, you're soft on all these fakers. I'm out of here. I'll leave.
We're better off. Listen, I want to know because I know this is what you're good at. Who's with who? Celebrity partners. Bambi. Who is she? What are some old flames? And specifically, any old flames that are powered and in town.
Hmm. Um, well, she's pretty good at being private, but I know she's getting a little bit older these days. Um,
Not so much.
the like I don't know what she was like before, but like maybe before she got her powers, there was something. Like I don't know. There hasn't been any high profile. I mean, she used to date that loser high roller, but that's been a long time.
Yeah, high roller. No, what a shithead.
Yeah,
Ugh, no one likes
I
him.
I think he's a good kid, but it just he fell in with the wrong crowd. You know.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, Jacoby had his moments, but come on,
Yeah.
totally understood. Uh, book promise you time with Boomer. You do know high stakes situations in enclosed areas what Boomer is like, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Don't worry about me.
I'm absolutely gonna worried about. I'm absolutely worried about you. This is exactly the sort of situation where things can get out of control quickly, and you need to know when shit's gonna hit the fan.
Got it. I'm aware of him. Just make sure you keep his wife away from here.
Yeah, I think she's actually here somewhere. But understood.
So
Thanks.
yeah, she goes in there to talk with KO Boomer, Dan, and she really puts on the kid gloves. And it seems like she is trying to put together a profile pieces of like local mutants from her community. Um, and just like this is what it's like to live here as a mutant. And in one of the most progressive um, policing academies for mutants in America, even how rough it is here. And that seems to be the angle of her piece that she's working on. Yeah, like it's a, it's kind of a different story than she's normally known for. For she usually just tries to get whatever sensationalism that she can that involves mutants. So,
Okay.
as you two leave, someone goes like, "Who was that?"
Who said that? Who's talking?
Um, we'll say, who said that? Who's there? Oh, night nurse. He's doing some paperwork.
We're working an angle.
Okay,
This is good for us.
okay, sounds good. All right, so you talked with her. What was the next part?
Chavez doesn't really know. I was hoping he might give us a name, somebody. I think we head over to Euphora, huh?
Yeah. Do we want to?
Or maybe her manager. Does she have a manager? Do we know if she's got representation, a modeling agency or anything?
I'm gonna say that she doesn't. She's been doing it for a long time at this point.
Shouldn't need to.
So she's more of a local celebrity more than anything else.
Okay.
But yeah, and without getting too far into this one, they're gonna lawyer up immediately if you bring up anything. So you're gonna have to get your
Who?
lawyers involved. Euphora.
Euphora.
Book. I don't want to super concept this thing, but what if we go undercover? Try to look like we're, I don't know, scientists. Want to talk to other scientists? Maybe you want to talk about floating squirrels and shit. I don't know. Uh,
How about we? How about we just catch one of them when they're coming out of work?
sure.
And drop in, visit one of them at home. Euphora
As
lawyers are going to bust in any if we try to talk to them on site. I'm assuming we've already tried and they saw us out the door. Um,
I'm fine. I still think we should try to. Oh shit! The legality of talking to them without telling them we're cops. I think. Do we need to get like a warrant to like
To go undercover, yes.
wiretap sort of thing with a? Let's do that. I still think that if they're going to lawyer up right away, it's not going to help us. But if we think that they are part of a criminal conspiracy that resulted in the murder of a civilian, I think it's worth trying to.
I know Bambi was your meant something to you. What if we bring the feds into it?
They're just going to take them away. That's what we had. That's what we had with Genesis, and then they were gone. Everything we had was taken away. The feds are not helping us. Look, no one is helping us.
Yeah.
The more we stay within the lines, the less we're going to get. We got to push it, man. It's the only way we're going to figure any of this out.
All right. What's the play?
You can get
I'm
a
fine with
warrant.
the.
You can get a
Go ahead.
warrant 24 hours.
Let's put it in. Let's get the warrant. Who do we want to talk to? We want to talk to some of their science folks, some of their lab people. Who else might we want to talk to?
I think the science guys had a right was a lead from the paperwork that you saw. Is that right?
I believe so, right?
You know, I don't know what's going to be better. I did have it as an Evolve member broke in there to get the information, so that'd be totally inadmissible anyway. Uh, but I would also be fine with doing like a. You know what? No, I'm going to keep it with someone broke in there and saw it and pass that information to um, serve it
I'm
to Bambi.
maybe High Roller, right? He's evolved.
Yep, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
for
no, that
sure.
would make sense. That would make sense, actually. I mean, from a design perspective, yeah, he's an ex-boyfriend, he's evolved, he's whatever complicated relationship they have, he's bringing it to her because she could do something about it.
And just skipping uh Euphoria.
I think we put in the request. We don't have to use it even if we get it, right?
Sure. But I mean,
Yeah,
I think High Roller makes a lot of sense.
yeah, let's go talk to HR. Yeah.
In book, this isn't about relationships. People are dying.
Okay, you put in the 24-hour warrant to speak with Euphoria. Sergeant Barnes doesn't even blink. Just she fully trusts her officers to figure out what's going on here. All right. You want to go talk to High Roller?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. You can look up his address. It's more or less uh, in the bad parts of the boroughs, basically. Probably not too far away where you guys have ran into him earlier, where you actually fought him earlier. You hop in the squad car, head on down there.
Was he part of the shootout with Genesis?
Yeah,
Oh fuck. Okay, this guy.
yeah. They only kept him overnight, which would have been last night.
So he
So
just got out.
he was just freed this morning.
He's gonna love us.
Yeah.
Don't
Now,
make us hit your friends with a car and then kill another one and get bullet to the face. You know,
We'll run you over. He'll
we're
do
gonna. I think we have bonuses on our intimidation checks at this point.
it.
all right. So I wrote this up this way, and it'll be interesting to see. So he lives right by Jezebel's dungeon.
Oh, great.
That
It's in
tracks.
a bad part of town. You find you can find Jezebel's dungeon in High Roller's hovel that he's staying in. Found in kind of the scuzzier corner of the city, even for the borough standards. There's bars in every window. Cops don't come down here unless they get invited because guns run these streets down here. Gangs, not guns. Gangs run the streets down here. Jezebel's dungeon
And
is
gun,
located in gun.
really.
Jezebel's dungeon is located in the basement of a peep show in the boroughs, about half a block away, or a couple blocks away from High Roller Stays. As you get a little bit closer, out on the sidewalk, you see a couple of toughs wearing denim jackets with scads of pins jangling on them. You see High Roller is keeping watch not far away from Jezebel's dungeon. His ribs are wrapped tight from his recent altercation. All of them are carrying guns. How do you want to approach this? Oh, did I freeze? No.
No, I think we're both trying to hope the other guy says something first.
No, I was having problems. Things were acting goofy. So okay, all good, all good.
Ooh, I hear Night Nurse coming home. Hi, Night Nurse. Yep. Uh, fucking guys with guns.
There you
Things are
go.
going pretty well so far.
Yeah.
But now we showed up to the guys with guns portion of the evening. So
Excellent. And if you jump on for the guys with guns portion of the evening.
more than
Uh,
what?
I mean, we'll probably do just 2 more scenes, this scene and probably Jezebel's dungeon. We'll probably call it for the night. But if you want to jump on, you certainly can. If you're up for it.
Why not?
Yeah.
Or if you want to jump on as Lilacs.
Ooh, we've been using Lilacs. She was very useful. Uh, last time we were fairly like, where cops don't do anything, and then they still got pretty defensive, correct?
Well, remember though, that was with Genesis. The reason that he's kicked already back on the streets is because he got influenced by her aggression.
That's a good point. That's great.
Oh,
And I'm gonna pop out of the car, and I'm gonna walk down. Actually, I'm gonna like come out to the street on the sidewalk and like make eye contact.
okay.
And then I'm gonna take my service revolver and toss it into the car.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna walk up.
Okay. Let me change this.
Sorry, I had to
Update this.
drop it and restart that. What did I miss there?
When I saw the guys, I made eye contact. I took my service revolver out of my holster and threw it into the car, and then kind of walked up to him.
I'll stand. I'll get out of the car and stand off to the side of it, and just lean up against the car and pretend I'm not noticing.
Okay.
Keep my distance.
Night nurse, what are you doing? To give you an idea of what's happening, you guys are going to
Say,
talk
what's
to.
the scene? What's that?
Yeah. All right. So here's the scene: is you guys are going to talk to High Roller, who has information about his ex-girlfriend who was recently murdered, who was Bambi Calloway, or Servant, who you guys caught the peeping Tom for. Now he also happens to be right in front of Jezebel's dungeon, which you think you have a clue in there that you can go talk to her. So unfortunately, High Roller probably doesn't like you guys since that's who you had the fight with, and he's got 2 other mutant puffs along with him. You can tell they're mutants because one of them is bright maroon. So right now, the book has gotten out of the car, but is looking the other way. Brickhouse has taken his service revolver, tossed it in the car, and gotten out. And what are you doing?
I am going to Lilacs. What is she good at? Would it be helpful to have like a camera ready? I'm good at photography. Like, would I be like in the car, like ready to like capture photographic evidence of whatever's going down?
Sure.
Would that be helpful?
Yeah, I really need to put body cams on you guys. Is what I need to do. But yeah,
The technology may not be there yet for for our time period.
Yours keeps shutting off whenever you go to talk to witnesses.
gonna be real weird. Okay, so you get a camera out. All right. High Roller notices you walking forward. He just kind of looks at you, goes like, he's a tall man, very scrawny. Got flaps on the side of his um, neck that kind of droop a little bit. He's got a bright white shock mohawk, wearing the denim vest as well. It's like, how come whenever you cops come down here, another mutant dies? I thought we're all supposed to be in this together, huh?
I'll take my glasses off and I was about to say the same thing to you. What do you know? What happened to Bambi? She talked to you last night, didn't she?
What? No, I was in jail last night because of you, because of Genesis went all psycho.
She tried to talk to you.
What? No, actually, I didn't hear you. Your microphone gave out a little bit.
Sorry, she tried to talk to you. She's been trying to talk to you. Some information that she had. Some money that
Okay.
was going to change hands.
He's going to look at you a little confused but wary. So there's something that he's like, all right, you might know something, but I'm not going to say anything just yet. Is there a skill that you want to use?
Absolutely, there is. I think this is a reassurance again. Do you think?
Well, what do
Getting
you guys
people
think?
to getting people to do what I want them to do by putting them at ease.
I think the time for
Uh,
that probably has passed since you've already assaulted him. Um,
I
but but this is a different situation for sure, right? Um,
then just I mean it could be interrogation, but I guess I don't want it to necessarily be a hostile interrogation.
right. For interrogation to work, you actually have to be down back at the office or at the station. It has to be a very
Would
controlled
we
environment.
would it be reassuring him potentially that um, we want to make sure Euphoria pays for what they've done?
Ooh, I can go there. Can I go that route with charm?
I think reassurance might be a little bit better. Maybe charm. I think with the angle you're going for, I think it's fine for sure. I don't want to make I don't want to make this impossible to get right. You've got the skills. Let's use them.
A little bit of
Okay.
both. Uh, I know that you were involved with Euphoria and the break-ins, and I know that Bambi was talking to you. Uh, listen, Jacoby, Bambi's dead.
What?
Somebody killed her last night.
Well, how? Who did it? What are you doing talking to me for? Let's go get the bastards.
That's exactly what we want to do. And you are a point of contact that might have information that's going to help us. I'm not here. I don't think you did it. I know you didn't do it, but I think that you might have information that's going to help us. It's going to help me find the bastard that did this. And believe me, I want to do that. I know it's not you. This isn't about cops and fucking drug dealers and Evolve or anything else. This is about Bambi. She's gone.
Oh my God. Like, no, she. Oh, yeah. We broke in there. It's kind of a like she had some questions about it, and I was like, me and a couple of the fellas went there. And we broke in. Yeah, so they're doing tests on animals. That's one thing she didn't like in her contract. It said she wouldn't do for the makeup. When I gave her that information, it's kind of like maybe something, but that ship uh passed a while. This new guy that she got, I don't think that one worked out so well either.
Who's the new guy?
Well, I think he's one of yours. I think. Guess she's moving up in the world.
We're talking about who killed her, dude.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So I tried to get back in a good grace. She wouldn't. She wasn't taking it, but she was thankful for the information. She said maybe she could help out all mutants with what I gave her.
I'll wander over.
Oh wait,
Uh,
no, he doesn't say the last part. I apologize. He does not say that last part at all. She's like, she was just mad. She couldn't believe it. Like she's trying to do good things here, and like the whole world is just terrible, you know.
it's
Who's the new guy?
This
The
is
new guy. Who was she?
it's one of your coppers, right?
I don't know. You tell me, man.
Yeah, he ran me in. I don't know, boy, something like that.
Hound?
I've walked. I've approached at this point. You mean you're
Sure.
talking about Boy Scout, right?
Yeah, that's the guy. Yeah.
So how does we think Reese might be involved with this? How's Reese involved? How's he involved with you and Evolve and Euphoria here?
Look, whatever you do, leave Reese out of it. Reese is a saint. Like there's a reason that we call him the sin in it. He's a saint for all of us. He takes good care of us. Like there's no way he'd do anything bad to hurt us.
Not to hurt you, but how's he involved? How's he involved in this whole Euphoria thing? Help us figure out what he's doing
Look,
involved and why he was out at the preserve last night.
I don't know anything about. I was in jail last night. I don't know. And you think
Do
at this
any of
point,
the does the person he's with respond at all to any of this?
no, these are your typical low level cops just taking orders from high roller. They're not quite sure what their next steps are going to be since Genesis Jackson has disappeared.
Time to go talk to Reese.
I think so too. Jacoby, you're going to be privy to information that I'm not, that we're not. If you hear something, I'm going to give him my card. Let me know for Bambi. Jacoby,
Okay.
they cut off her fucking horns.
If it weren't for Bam, I'd be spitting in your face. But I'll let you know if I hear anything.
Fucking better. I'm going to go back to the car.
Yep.
Now,
And get my gun so I can go into the fucking store with my gun.
okay. You go into after talking and making peace with a high roller. They make way for you to go down into the dungeon if you want to. It goes down some stone staircases. There's just garish neon lights lead the way into a den of pleasure and commerce. The store services the mutant population and adult entertainment ranging from magazines to the more esoteric, multifaceted sex toys. There's a beaded doorway that leads deeper into the building. You see a short woman, though, with spiked black and white hair, leans behind the counter, staring at the detectives as they come in. Evening, evening, officers.
Ma'am, are you the proprietor?
My name is on the store, so I'd better be. And you guys know that this is Jezebel. She's been around for a while.
Christina, is there a place that we can speak privately?
She just kind of looks around. There's a short, scruffy looking gentleman in the corner looking at some movies, and she's just like, "You creep! Get out of here. And she kicks out the only customer that she's got in there. It's like, there's no one in back. Right, I need to do a Southern Belle. Sorry. I keep slipping. Um, so come on in. We've got the floor is yours.
You want to? Did our understanding is you sold a pink gimp mask last night?
I'll take it out and I'll put it on the table.
Who can or maybe the night before? Can you help us figure out who was it bought this? And I'll pull out the tag. Or I guess we'd have a picture of the tag. We wouldn't have the actual tag from the Bambi's hand. It looks like this was purchased here. You able to help us with who might have hurt one of our own here in the community?
We're one of our own. What's going on?
Whoever bought this mask, we think hurt one of the community.
Well, I don't normally help the freak force, but what I can tell you, like, yeah, I got a balloon. What I can do is yeah, I I sold this. I sold it to a very an attractive older man. It's very no, they're very distinct because they didn't look like mutants. They didn't look like they were here for anyone else. Very straight laced. He said he was in town for the gun show at the Montrell. Look, I tried to invite him to the Paradise Found to meet me for my after-hour shows, but seemed revolted by the idea, so I sold him the gear at twice the normal price and sent him on his way.
Any chance he paid with anything that had his name on it?
No,
Or
no, it was cash.
do you think you'd recognize him if you saw him again?
Yeah, he was a good-looking man.
Can you describe him a little bit better? White, black, tall, short.
Sure. We're gonna say, um, I need to double check to make sure I'm describing the right person. Give me a second. Oh, okay. Not a good-looking man. Uh, the opposite. We're gonna go with the other gentleman. No, I mean, there's only one person. Um, he had pock marks, darker hair, um, about Caucasian, say about 5'6", stocky. I don't know, kind of. I don't know. What do you guys? What do they say these days? The kind of a dad bod. Let me guess
Nobody
around.
says that. Do they have an accent?
No, wasn't from around here though. I don't think he
What
was a
makes you say that?
tri-stater.
I see.
Hmm, he didn't. I had to give him directions. He wasn't from around here.
Somebody in town for the gun show.
And he was in town for the gun show at the Montreal.
That's what he
Do you
said.
know anything about the gun show?
Yes, you do know something about the gun show. It is a 3-day long gun show at the Montrell as part of the rally for the Federalists.
Well, this will be awkward.
Right,
Yeah,
it is.
us walking into that community, into the gun show with that crowd is going to be a trip.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, it is 10:06. We've done a couple more scenes. I think we're back on track. and I have every confidence that you guys can come close to closing this case the next time we get together. I'll send out notes. Sorry you didn't have all the action jam-packed in there, Night Nurse. It was not supposed to be a fight. It could have been. It could have easily turned into a fight for sure. Um, but yeah. So yeah, you guys are about halfway through. How is it going for you guys? Because this is what I'm going to be running for Peloton on early August. Now, mind you, and I hate to give this away right now. I told Aaron a little bit, is that the whole Euphoria angle will not be in the one shot that I run.
So what part of it are you running?
Everything
Like, what's
else.
the
What's that?
everything we've played so far?
Yep. Oh no, sorry.
Oh,
Starting tonight, I'm running for what we started tonight,
just the Bambi stuff.
investigating Bambi's murder.
Sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
Has anything felt weird? Yeah, go.
You tell me. Like, what we did some things you weren't prepared for necessarily, or you didn't know we were gonna do.
Yeah, 100%. One,
Okay.
not taking Boy Scout in was a little bit of a surprise, but I shouldn't have been so surprised, I guess. Um, kind of the thin blue line sort of things happening here, which I think is really
Mhm.
fascinating as far as our longer campaign that we're putting together. It's going to have fascinating fallout for the one
Yeah.
shot. I don't know if you guys would do that, right?
No,
Maybe,
probably not. I think with the one shot they would take him to the station. You'd be fine. Yeah.
yeah. Um,
Well,
what
real quick,
else?
if they do that, if they just take him in, I mean, there's pretty solid evidence that he's the one that killed her. This could be like a 30-minute adventure if they don't look very hard.
Yep, it
So
could be.
I guess that's the question, right? What's the tell that maybe they missed something important if they take it at face value?
All right, so if they haul in Boy Scout and they're all high fiving each other, like, yeah, we got him. Sergeant Barnes, we'll get back to him like an hour later and be like, didn't you guys run the EMT? Like, he's under influence. Like, you didn't catch the people you need to catch. Um,
Yep, that would be my concern is, yeah, what was the out? But you've got that in place, so that's good.
yep. Interestingly enough, because I've had to do that with the other playtest group, um, when they took Vic Hansen, they they tried to, yeah, they just arrested Vic Hansen, who was the promoter, right, for the Federalist. They just arrested him. Like, oh no, he's behind it, and they put him in jail. And so I had to come up with a way, like, wait, I need to tell them that they're not. Oh yeah, well they ran the EMT, and like, no, he was under influence. So I had to go back, like, oh wait a minute, okay.
I don't think there's no shortage of clues, right? There's plenty of places they can go with this. There's still things we didn't track down that we could have so far. Like, I think
Hmm.
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and I do
I
like,
like. Oh, I say I just like being able to tie it in with what we've already done. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
Brickhouse is getting more and more paranoid. He's getting more and more pissed off, and uh, it's gonna pay off eventually for somebody. I don't know who. Probably Jerod, not us. But it's
uh,
gonna
I mean,
gonna pay off.
I do want to warn you that yeah, this is a much bigger outlet for me than you guys, and that's going to be the problem. Is at the very end, we're going to have a serious conversation about all the work that we did and where we ended up with it. Because you're going to get some good payoffs for sure. And I like this one, like I said, I think you're gonna solve this case for about Bambi. You should be able to solve this one next session, not a problem. But you still have the whole issue of Goose Wilson running in the background.
I get the feeling there's a timer here, like and correct me if I'm wrong. The question is always like, well, what's to keep them from just keep going and going? It sounds like this guy's leaving town after 3 days. So if they don't solve this in 3 days, there's this, they won't know that it's a timer until it's too late, right? So I
Well,
think
for
that's a nice feature that sort of seems like it's built in. Maybe I'm wrong though. Maybe I'm reading that
mhm.
wrong.
Yeah, 100%. The way that I had it all structured out, like you guys just did the. I don't know if you guys even would have gone to Jezebel's dungeon unless I put High Roller living right next to them. Because High Roller was he was set up to be on the street in front of the Jezebel's dungeon, just as like that's his street that he patrols for a gang. But then I didn't realize I'm like, oh yeah, I did originally have him be the ex-boyfriend. For the Euphoria stuff, it works great to have that tie-in. But as the one shot, I'll probably cut that completely out. Um, but like
You
I
end up with the
expected,
mask and the tag. I think that going to Jezebel's is gonna can happen, right? There's definitely clues that lead that way.
yeah,
So
I expected it to be the second place you guys went to. So I don't know if you guys would have even gotten there this session, which is kind of a big one because it gets you to pointing towards the gun show. Um,
I was almost expecting that was so like what I'm suspecting the arrow wound is, which is an attempted distractor, right? Like the branding on the palm, the arrow injury. There's this the thing in her hand is like sorting out what's a real clue from what's garbage. I kind of suspect like, oh, a sex shop. Well, that's that's probably a fake clue, right?
yeah.
So that one's a lower priority. So
It'd be
sure.
good to know. I think if Night Nurse was here, she probably could have told us if any of those things were post mortem as a distraction, which we don't really have the skills to do.
Yeah.
Um,
we needed you, night nurse. We
Well,
made it, but it would have been awesome. Awesomer if you would have been there.
yeah.
yeah. There's two clues that you guys, well, there's a handful of clues that you guys haven't gotten from the places you've been to, but most of them were like, most of those clues should just be added on, right? There are things that add on to get you there. Um, but yeah, Night Nurse would have been good, especially for the first part. Um,
Like crime scene identification, like that kind of shit, like good Night Nurse stuff.
yeah, there was only one at the crime scene that you guys didn't get, but since we've gone like half a day on it, uh, almost 3/4 of a day, the information you get back is that all the wounds and stuff that you saw was happened before her murder. Um,
Okay.
so you think that in the struggle, she did tear off that tag off of her attacker, which now you know was Boy Scout,
Right.
or allegedly from what he thinks anyway, I should say. So dealing with someone with possession power is a scary, scary thing. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, thank you guys so much for running through it. I really like the way this one came together. And then I think just by the setup, this has given me enough confidence to run it as is, as the one shot. Now, the next part, we'll do more of the campaign stuff that gets involved with it too, because it does get weird with High Roller, Euphora, um, the hotel. Like, it's great. I do want to ask though, real quick, is that you guys got the clue and then are immediately kind of tossing it aside. What, as far as Otto, the King Rat, why you're throwing that one out? I just want to ask. I'm curious. That's not something to follow up.
For me, when I saw, like, he seems like the obvious choice for that, right? Because there's all these mammals. So we went into an apartment, and it was like overrun with raccoons and mice and stuff, like
Bingo.
chewing up like all the pictures and the stuff on the walls, and like destroying all the like paper evidence of everything in the joint. I mean, he's a freelancer. He's a vagrant. It doesn't strike me as someone who would be employed by a major pharmaceutical or a major, you know, makeup conglomerate, right? Like he doesn't. That to me was like maybe he is a natural, right? But that sort of implies this whole like subculture of hiring mutants to do sort of corporate work. So it just didn't seem like he was a good match for that reason. But I guess there's no reason that I should have jumped to that conclusion necessarily. I sort of made a sort of bias. Just said, well, I mean, if he's doing jobs of
Yeah.
that magnitude, he probably wouldn't be homeless, right? He'd probably, he wouldn't be unhoused. He'd be doing quite well for himself.
Yeah. Okay.
Not necessarily a good reason though.
You should probably ask players if they're triggered by raccoons. I'm not a fan of raccoons.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. Aren't you?
Okay, I'm glad I wasn't in there.
He
But we're
plays one
okay.
in Honor Bound though, so.
I'm a fox in Honor Bound.
Oh,
not a
you're a fox.
raccoon.
Yeah.
You're right.
Fox.
I'm sorry. Yep. No,
Racist.
you're a fox. You're a fox. You're foxes.
And you did miss that we had to figure out how much a motorcycle's worth of varmints would weigh.
Well,
It's-
it's a rough one for me, Rachel. It really was. There was a lot happening. Really.
But all right, awesome. Thank you guys so much.
So just to clarify, that was one that I guess it was a pretty clear thing to have checked out, and I dismissed it for not a particularly good reason. So I'll put that out there. In a one-off, I would think they'd probably be more likely to follow up on that.
Especially because I'll give them a smaller list of people too. I'm thinking maybe not because like what does it matter? Because a lot of those names are going to mean nothing to them and will not come into play for the one shot. Um, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah,
I don't know that
awesome.
having the longer list is bad necessarily, right? Because you can sort through it pretty quickly, right? Like what's close to possession? Well, there's only like one or two maybe that are even close.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, right on. Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I had a lot of fun. This went really well. Just two players. I think this type of game does that well, right? Because you expected to split up anyway. It would have been a lot nicer to have four players so you can go two and two, because then you run into those things like where you go to the apartment where like you couldn't do two things at once. That was too hard to do for one player. So it would have been nice to have two there. Um, and I just read like reading your gravity control ability. If you have someone that has wind power, you can lift them up and then the wind person can blow them away. Like it has that in the notes. I was like, oh my God, all right. But yeah, you guys did a good job for only being two people. So good job.
yeah, it seems clean. Yeah.
I'll send out the notes. Everyone have a great night.
Thanks, Ed.
Bye.
Right.
Bye. House.